What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it on you. If you get close, I will break your jaw. I mean, I'm just telling you right now.
Kimmel probably thought it was just another boring evening on his show, cracking jokes about celebrities, sitting on his chair, and getting cheap laughs from the studio audience. But this time, he picked the wrong target.
Worried that he won't do anything to help us. Turns out we're wrong. This morning, he wrote, "It is my honor to announce Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone to be special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place, Hollywood, California." Wow. Braveheart, Rambo, and the Midnight Cowboy. He summoned the 3 horsemen of the apocalypto to save us.
Hollywood legend Sylvester Stallone was misused and mocked by Kimmel. The latter went on to deliver scathing commentary after Stallone praised Donald Trump at an event.
And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
Kimmel, eager as always to take a swipe at someone, said Stallone must have taken too many head punches while shooting Rocky. He then made fun of Stallone calling Trump a modern-day George Washington by cheekily saying the only thing Trump had ever fathered was Eric Trump, which is an insult if there ever was one.
I guess those punches Rocky took to the head were real after all. George Washington was the father of our country. Donald Trump is the father of Eric. Big difference there. I mean, and then...
Kimmel smirked, and for one glittery moment, he'd thought he'd issued yet another harmless late-night joke. The backlash that followed became nothing short of a nuclear-grade humiliation. Stallone didn't bite on Kimmel's show. He didn't respond, didn't clap back immediately. Rather, he chose to let the internet speak for him. As soon as Kimmel's segment aired, fans jumped on both sides, and there was not a hint of sympathy for Kimmel on Stallone's side. An uproar hit social media, with hashtags like #WAR, Respect Stallone, and Cancel Kimmel trending on X. People just couldn't take Kimmel and other late-night hosts picking on Hollywood legends with amusement anymore. And then there was Stallone. Stallone did not resort to another TV interview to defend himself. He took it to TikTok, where he controlled the narrative. The video was short but brutal. Stallone didn't complain. He told people who he was and what he had done. He remarked that it was unnecessary for him to hold a network or write scripted gags for forced laughter to remain significant.
Actors get actually better because they learn how to relax. They know their strong suits. Like, there's no such a thing as the best actor. People have always said, oh, Brando's the best actor, De Niro's the best actor. No one's the best actor. You're the best at a certain part. Or you're playing a great character. You're really good at that.
He had made his achievements through true hard work, natural talent, and perseverance, not behind a desk mocking someone else. And true to Stallone's form, he didn't make it all about himself. It was much more than that. He threw down the gauntlet on all late-night happenings, talking about Hollywood being lost. Late-night TV used to be about making one relax after a full day's work. Now, it was the mean-spirited attacks within political agendas by out-of-it hosts who could no longer realize their time was up. That video went viral like a fire. Millions watched, thousands shared, and thousands more commented, praising Stallone for being one of those few Hollywood legends not afraid to speak the truth. Just when things couldn't get worse for Kimmel, Stallone roped in Arnold Schwarzenegger. In his TikTok reply, Stallone referred to a funny but very embarrassing tale from his past with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But this was more than a random slice of Hollywood. Stallone was using it to make a point.
Okay, my big muscular friend, I saw you the other night on Jimmy Kimmel, kind of making fun of me. Telling the whole world about how you tricked me into doing the worst movie ever made. Nah. Does it bother me? Nah. Is it burnt into my memory like a horrible scar? Nah. Well, maybe just a little bit.
Back in the 90s, Stallone and Schwarzenegger had a fierce rivalry, always looking to outstunt each other in Hollywood. So, when a script for Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot, began to circulate, Schwarzenegger thought it was the perfect chance to pull off one of the biggest practical jokes in Hollywood history. So, when Arnold realized there was interest in the movie, from Stallone, who would do anything to prove to him that he was better, his brilliant act was that he acted interested in the movie because he knew Stallone would immediately grab it just to beat him to it. And that was it. Stallone took the role. The movie bombed. And Arnold, meanwhile, laughed. Stallone, of course, eventually laughed at this as well. He got over it, made some more mega hits, and never let it define his career. But this is the catch. He used this story to twist the knife into Kimmel.
So anyway, as you know, I write, which is something you don't. Oh, did I say that? And I've decided to write a sequel called, for you, called Stop or Your Grandmother Will Beat Your Ass. And I will be directing and producing and mocking it all the way through. Anyway, you keep punching, big guy, and good luck with your film.
At least it was a career moment that Stallone has dubbed as a great embarrassment, where he was caught up with another Hollywood legend. He was pranked by one of the biggest action stars ever. Not because he spent his life sitting behind a desk, making fun of people who actually accomplish things. The internet was going wild about it. It didn't take long before people began comparing Stallone and Schwarzenegger's legendary, authentic Hollywood rivalry with Kimmel's cheap staged late-night roasts. The contrast was crystal clear. Stallone and Schwarzenegger pushed one another, challenged one another, and made one another better, while Kimmel just made fun of winners to get the applause of a studio audience. Had Kimmel thought the storm would just blow over? Wrong. The memes were enough on X. Pictures appeared all over the internet with Stallone knocking Kimmel out as Ivan Drago from Rocky IV. Clips were shared with sliders of Rocky saying, Kimmel watching his career fall to the ground in real time.
It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the...
And to add insult to injury, ABC was already unhappy with Kimmel. And the fact that he keeps making controversial statements does not help his case. Late-night ratings had been sinking. Fewer and fewer people tuned in to watch. And ABC executives had already been discussing the future of the show. Kimmel was no longer pulling in the numbers he once had, and now he had just embarrassed himself in front of one of the Hollywood greats. Meanwhile, Stallone was having the time of his life. His new show, Tulsa King, was a big hit. He was building the brand far and wide beyond the traditional Hollywood setup, and he was just proving that you do not have to appear on late night to stay relevant anymore.
Hello, everyone. I've been in this business a long time, and it's been incredibly gratifying.
Kimmel, meanwhile, was left angling for damage control. He was, of course, trying to pretend that this was not happening. He did not respond directly to Stallone's TikTok, nor did he address the episode, continuing as if nothing had happened. But there was a change. That usual swagger wasn't there. The fake humor seemed even feebler. And worst of all, the house wasn't laughing the same as before. People started seeing through. They were no longer entertained. They are tired of the same smug jokes, familiar stringers with the same old celebrities who, after all, earned their success. And Stallone? He has completely moved on. Kimmel is stuck in damage control mode while Stallone goes out and wins. He didn't need a network, a desk, or even a laugh track. He had made himself an actual career, one really respected. It was not just a joke gone awry, but a look into the future. Late-night television had once been the mightiest force of entertainment, but that was now dying. The audience had stopped coming. There was no longer a demand for political rantings, nor for vicious jabs, but rather honest discourse, true entertainment, and authentic personalities. And Stallone? He proved that authenticity always wins. Kimmel, on the other hand? Well, let's just say his days are numbered. As things unfold, we will give you the highlights. Because at my channel, we don't watch the drama, we live for it.